We're playing Minecraft on an antique computer from the 60s.
This is a Univac 1219.
You are not playing Minecraft on a computer from 1960s. Ooh.
This is a Univac 1219, a computer from 1965 that has just hosted a Minecraft server.
Wait, you're on camera. Did it work?
Hosted a Minecraft server?
Back to that one. About a year ago, I went to finally check out VCF East, also known as the Vintage Computer Festival East. For those unfamiliar, it's basically a big convention for retro computing nerds such as myself. There's room after room of various people's collections on display. I saw pen players, a shrine to Windows 95, absolutely awesome electromechanical teletype equipment,
Ooh.
user's guide to the Macintosh, and capacitors the size of soda cans.
Hmm.
But tucked away in one of the buildings in the back, I came face to face with an absolute beast. See, VCF East takes place at the Info Age Museum in New Jersey.
No.
About a century ago, it was a
Jersey.
marquee wireless station receiving radio transmissions from across the Atlantic. In the 50s and 60s, it housed a giant dish antenna for radar and satellite experiments. And nowadays, it's a museum with exhibits documenting various areas of technological development, including computers. And right in the center of that room is the Univac 1219, a computer from the mid-60s about the size of 3 to 4 refrigerators side by side.
That's not bad.
Man, is this thing cool. It's got the front panel blinking lights, the big tape reels, and all the output gets printed on the world's loudest teletype. It was everything 60s sci-fi movies promised new computers would be. UNIVAC is short for Universal Automatic Computer. And in the middle of the 20th century, it was the name in computing. Well, besides Big Blue.
IBM.
UNIVAC was the computer of choice for Wile E. Coyote. Isaac Asimov spoofed it when naming the computer Multivac in his stories. And it's the computer that made headlines when it successfully predicted the 1952 presidential election would be a landslide, even when its human operators didn't believe it.
Wow.
The company lineage goes all the way back to the ENIAC, the 1940s University of Pennsylvania research project,
Damn.
considered to be the first computer, for a very precise definition of computer. ENIAC's job was to compute tables of artillery firing trajectories for the U.S. Army.
Wow, Boston
About 20 years
PBS.
Later, this UNIVAC, Model 1219, the military version of the 418, actually wasn't that far off. From the late 60s into the 80s, these machines could be found on Navy battleships, listening to radar and aiming guided missiles. Nowadays, though, this UNIVAC here seems pretty happy to live out a civilian life at the museum, playing the occasional game of Hump the Wumpus and printing out ASCII art portraits of George Washington and Spock. At least, that's what I saw it doing during the live demo at VCF.
Ooh, that's neat.
Naturally, I got into a bit of a conversation with the guys operating the machine, and I asked if anyone was writing any new software for it. The answer I got was, not really, but there was a stack of about a dozen manuals and an emulator, if I was interested. And, oh, I was interested. I got home, fired up the emulator, read the manuals, and got to work. Being designed in the early 60s, it was in some ways so close to a
Hello.
computer, and in other ways worlds apart.
We're just looking at random stuff right now online.
Registers are
Not really much is happening. Just relaxing and reading some interesting stuff. Reading a story about some interesting stuff. How tomorrow's the 40th anniversary of Chernobyl, and that's about it. Not really much is happening. Just killing some time, watching old random stuff. You know.
My flight had a
Isn't it
layover
fun?
in Brussels that was 8 hours long.
I am not-
And I on my Google Pixel to help me plan a city adventure. And Gemini
I'm getting tired of seeing idiots on TV. Tell I can do this. I can do that. Like there's one person I can do this, and this person cannot do that because it's illegal in my state. There's one guy said I can do this one particular thing. I'm thinking, one, you can't do that in Michigan. That's actually illegal. In my state, you can't do that. And he did it. And I found he did it in Indiana, where it's legal in Indiana. So, yeah. Which, he was crazy. He said, I'm going to smoke 2 cigars at once. That's just weird. That's tomorrow. Talladega's tomorrow. A time, not sure yet, but yeah, I will be watching Talladega tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Talladega's will be tomorrow. Today's nothing. Today's just a lazy day. Just relaxing today, having a little bit of fun. Not really much is happening. It's just Saturday night. Not really much is going to happen tonight. I don't know who's going to win. I had a big scare today when I was watching The Wire. Next thing I found out Notre Dame was playing football. And next I found out it's a Peacock, so I couldn't watch it. And then I found out, oh, it's just a post thing, so it wasn't important. Now I know Roman feels. Now I know Roman Beef feels in his shitty apartment. So I have ants, not doesn't really matter. Just having some fun right now, guys. Just relaxing, having some fun. I had a quick something cheap, a sandwich. That was a fast sandwich. That's all I had. Been thinking about doing some crazy stuff, but that's not going to happen for a while. I mean, there is one thing I'd like to try doing one of these days, but that'll be a while before I can do it. There is one thing I'd like to try doing one of these days, which this might be a reality in a future date, but it's not going to happen. Soon. Real soon. I actually found out when we open up. We open up in a couple weeks. Mother's Day week is when we open up. We open up the week to Mother's Day.
Today, my friends Josh and I are heading across the northern U.S. border on one of Amtrak's only international routes, operated with their rarest and strangest passenger equipment. This is the Amtrak Cascade service.
So, yeah. So, that'll be happening in a little bit. That'll be happening in about 2 to 3 weeks. Nope, not today. I don't feel like playing games right now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to LSPDFR. Once again, we're doing a Blaine County Sheriff's Patrol, but this time we're going to be using the new emergency distributors.
Ooh, that's new. That's pretty different. I feel like doing nothing right now. I did stuff today. I feel like staying home today. I went into Centerville today. That's about it. Not really much happening today. It's lazy day. Monday, I got something to do. Monday, I got stuff to do. Monday and Tuesday, I got stuff to do. Wednesday, I got stuff to do. Thursday, I got stuff to do. Friday, I got work. So yeah, I'm busy this week. So I got lots to happen.
What is this? I don't like this.
Can it? At least we finally have one that's by someone else.
Yeah, there's nothing more fun than being back in school.
Just give it a chance, Jax. Jeez. There's nothing wrong.
I can't believe they know it's her. Oh, let's see. No, I'm going to Dad's Monday. I might go to Dad's Monday, might not. I have a thing to do. I have a thing to do next week, so who knows?
You're in the middle of nowhere, rural Kansas, the site of an abandoned nuclear missile silo. Armed security patrol the entrance to a doomsday bunker that's reserved for the wealthy elite, and sales are booming. Since the election of Donald Trump.
Yeah, so we're just doing some fun stuff right now. There's not much really happening. There is a couple things I do want to do. There is a few things actually are happening, which I'm glad. Something I was working on did get through. So that's a positive. One thing I was working on did get through, and it is going perfectly. I'm working on some other things that are going to be going through as well. We did see Hell of a Boss, the short with Barb in it. So that worked out pretty good. Not really much else is happening, but yeah, we are getting some of our stuff around. Some things are going to get changed around, but not much. Also, some other things I was looking into is going to be coming out soon, so that's good. I don't know. I just know that last week was Kansas, so that means Junker Dig should be popping up soon. Junker Dig should be having a video where they go to Kansas. If they did this year, or maybe they canceled it because they have a baby girl now, so who knows? Maybe they didn't go this year. We'll have to find out and see if they did or not, which we'll find out. We should find out sometime this week or next week. We should find out if they went or not. I really don't care. All the people I used to watch retired. All the people I watch is retired. So people don't, like me, like most people like me who don't have cable, don't watch NASCAR anymore like they used to because It's just not as good as it used to be. Segments make it worse. This makes it worse.
But my goodness, 3-inch hail coming down.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, NASCAR is just not doing like it used to do anymore. Well, you can't do what, and you can't do what. I mean, I still watch this for the fun of it. I mean, the segments suck.
We really needed that power slam.
Oh, Talladega, the biggest track in the fleet. Talladega Speedway, the biggest track in NASCAR.
A Kansas City family says their dream home has turned into a nightmare.
They're paying on a house they can't live in, can't sell, and can't finish. They blame their builder. Turns out, so do some other things.
They all turned to KCTV5 investigative reporter Angie Racono. Here's what she found in a month-long investigation.
I just wanted a big space where lots of people can mingle and eat.
Well, Talladega is also known. I mean, Talladega is. I mean, I don't know how to explain this. Talladega is one of the most dangerous tracks in NASCAR.
When I really got into making videos about abandoned places, I watched.
Does that make sense? Talladega Motor Speedway is known as one of the worst. I mean, in the '80s, there was a big accident in the '80s that broke the catch fence. Then in 2009, with Carl Edwards, happened again. Talladega is one of the. Talladega is one of the dangerous tracks in the world. I mean, more people have died at Talladega than anywhere else.
113 laps.
Will you believe that Talladega actually had a strike? Talladega actually had a strike. That's how bad it was. So bad, Richard Petty and tons of other drivers issued a strike. Talladega is one of the worst tracks in NASCAR. It's so bad, like I said, Rich Petty. I mean, Talladega is even interviewers from the Repeal say Talladega is one of the worst tracks NASCAR has ever raced at. I mean, Dale Earnhardt Jr. just here, Wendell Scott, Dale Earnhardt Jr. had to retire from racing because of Talladega. I mean, Talladega is known as one of the worst tracks in the NASCAR series. So, I mean, Talladega actually is one of the worst tracks in the NASCAR fleet. I mean, back in '09, back in the '80s, even back in the 1980s, it was bad. Okay, the worst race ever. Talladega Speedway, Talladega 500, 1969.
You may think this all started in the late 80s.
Because, yeah, Talladega has been one of the worst tracks ever in the NASCAR history. Besides Longhorn Speedway, and a couple of tracks were bad, but the only track is still even on the air. I mean, the only NASCAR track that still gets used to this day is Talladega. Okay, and that track is one of the worst tracks in the fleet. So yeah.
Talladega Superspeedway has been shrouded in controversy for longer than most race fans today have been alive.
So yeah, Talladega is.
In the late 80s with the introduction of the restrictor plate and the advent of pack racing, which led to the inevitable Big One accidents, making drivers and owners alike livid to no end. Some say it goes back even further, to the 1800s, when the Native Americans who lived in this place were pushed out by the U.S. Army during the Trail of Tears, and the natives cursed this land as they left. Centuries-old stories notwithstanding, the most story behind Talladega's troubled past.
Talladega is one of the worst tracks in the fleet and is one of the most dangerous tracks. I mean, in Talladega, you can get up to over 200.
Of boycotts and opportunities lost.
I mean, top speed ever recorded is at Talladega, and we're talking over 200 miles an hour here. Like, like the fastest record like what 200 a little over 200 miles an hour. Talladega has done. So yeah, Talladega is known as one of the most even the track is one of the most so yeah, Talladega is one of the riskiest tracks in the fleet. It's so bad that most racers decide not to do it. And yeah, they fixed my road finally. They had a patch on it the other day. I did a video of that for you guys. Like I said, Talladega, you get it to over 200 miles an hour at Talladega. And the worst ones that ever happened was the 80s and then 2009. The car tomorrow hitting the catch fence. I don't know, was it 9 or 10? It happened. I don't remember, but yeah, Talladega is one of the worst tracks in the fleet.
We're gonna have to go back, like way back, like all the way to the beginning. This is Talladega Super Speedway, circa 1949. At this point, it isn't a speedway at all. This is Anniston Airport.
They just wanted to fix it, so they fixed it. Asphalt and fixed it.
Alabama. Originally opened in 1942 as a training school for the United States Army Air Corps during World War II, the post-war years for Anniston Air Base have not been common. By the time the 1960s roll around, the airfields have fallen into disrepair. But the U.S. Army still needs it because the Vietnam War is gearing up. Army Depot.
I will look into that. I'll look into that later after we're done recording. I'll look into it.
Can't afford it. They don't have the money and they don't have the manpower. Enter Big Bill France Sr., current president and CEO of NASCAR, who is looking to build the biggest, baddest track in the world in South Carolina. There are a few stories surrounding the original idea of the biggest, baddest speedway being built. Some say it's supposed to be built in Raleigh. Other people say somewhere in South Georgia. But to me, this one makes the most sense, and it is the
Nope,
one that has
Fox.
been the most popular over the years.
It's on Fox tonight. I'll be on Fox tomorrow.
Track in a big market. He wants it to be even bigger and better than Daytona. So he makes the turns just a little bit steeper, the track just a little bit wider, and the length just a little bit longer. His target, halfway between the existing tracks of Charlotte Motor Speedway and Atlanta Raceway. And Greenville, South Carolina is the perfect spot. It's right dead center in the middle. Just one hiccup with this master plan. South Carolina has blue laws on the books at this time. If you don't know what a blue law is, then good for you. You live in a sensible part of the country. Blue laws are essentially laws passed in heavily Baptist areas that pertain to what kind of activities you can do.
I watch it on Fox. I don't have my antenna doesn't reach Grand Rapids. I watch it Fox South Bend.
They're actually still in the books today. Like in some counties in South Carolina, you can't buy beer on Sunday. And to this day, every liquor store in South Carolina is closed on Sundays. But back in the 1960s, they were a lot more all-encompassing. In some places, you couldn't open any kind of business on Sunday. And in most places, you couldn't hold a social or a sporting event on Sunday back then. And that was a statewide law, not just limited to these. Bill France tries to petition the state legislature to change these laws, but to no avail. They're not budging. If you're wondering then how the Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway ever became a thing, well, that was because back in the day, they used to run the 500 not on the weekend of Labor Day, but on Labor Day itself, a Monday. So Bill France packs up his stuff and he goes out to look elsewhere. Yep, South Carolina misses out on the biggest, baddest speedway on the planet being built in their...
Watching slaps. Talk about Talladega.
I could have had the craziest speedway in America built in my backyard, but nope, that didn't happen thanks to these jerks. Yet another reason to hate the Baptist church. It just, oh, God, I hate Baptists.
That's why I don't get to church.
Oh. So where does Big Bill France wind up?
Cut that thing off your eye. Look at her.
Here's some major markets, southern cities with big populations. He also needs a track to be near an interstate, like within 10 miles. A scout of his comes through for him. Midway between Atlanta and Birmingham, Interstate 20 is being built, and right next to it, Anniston Air Force Base, with all that nice, flat ground right around it. Big Bill agrees with the Department of Defense to pave new runways so long as he can have the old ones. They agree, and the city of Anniston sells the land to Big Bill France on very favorable terms. Everyone wins. Big Bill France gets his land, Anniston doesn't have to worry about that old run-down tarmac, and the Army can still run ammo out of the depot. Seems just a little too perfect, doesn't it? Bill France hires the same contractors who built I-20 to build his track. Construction has very few hang-ups and gets completed on time, but by design the completion date runs up dangerously close to opening weekend. The executive suites for VIPs and corporate sponsors, those are just open-air rooms with tables made from pieces of plywood over sawhorses. The patrons of those suites have to wear earplugs on opening weekend. Invitational testing runs, forget about it. The first tests are done on Wednesday, week of show, just 5 days before race day. All the drivers pour into the track that Wednesday, and they're impressed. Talladega is only 0.16 miles longer than Daytona and 12 feet wider, but it feels way more massive than that. They're in shock but excited. They can't wait to race. However, the first guys out on the track report some handling problems. Okay, fine, no biggie. They're using Daytona setups, and this track's a little bit different, so they just need to make some adjustments. They come back to the garage after just a few laps at full speed, and this is what their tires look like.
Shredded.
They're shredded. The track might as well have been paved with cheese graters. Others report the same problem. No matter the car, no matter the tire manufacturer, they all have the same bad tires. Now, at that time, NASCAR was in the midst of a full-blown tire war between Goodyear and Firestone. Chances are, if you're a NASCAR fan watching this video, you can't remember the last tire war.
Hoosier.
Or don't even know what I'm talking about. A tire war is a horrible thing for any sanctioning body to go through. I'm not even sure why they let them happen in the first place. Basically, the sanctioning body, NASCAR, decides they don't like how much money their tire manufacturer is putting up to be the exclusive manufacturer in the sport. So NASCAR goes shopping and finds Firestone, who put up a considerable sum to compete against Goodyear in NASCAR. NASCAR teams sign contracts with different tire makers, so you have Goodyear teams versus Firestone teams, and that sounds good, right? Competition is great, right? Well, not in this instance. The free market can fix most things, but this is not one of them. In order to get an edge over the competition, the manufacturers run up against the razor's edge of safety. A softer tire is more grippy and therefore faster, but lacks durability and falls apart faster. A harder tire lacks grip and speed, but lasts longer and is safer. A tire failure is one of the worst accidents a NASCAR driver can have, and they typically look like this. Pretty much head-on impacts with the walls at harsh angles. Plenty of drivers up to this point have died in accidents that look a lot like this. And
Oh,
commonplace in
Marcos.
NASCAR. Nobody wants this, but
I'm gonna have to use the restroom quick. Tomorrow, I gotta do that and that and this. And like I said, Talladega is one of the most dangerous tracks in NASCAR race at. I'm back.
when winning is on the line against safety, typically winning takes priority. That's just how people are. The last tire war in NASCAR was in the early 90s with Goodyear versus Hoosier. And tire failures were rampant in those years and led to many driver injuries and hospitalizations. Eventually, NASCAR learned its lesson, and there has not been another tire war since. But this is 1969, and those lessons are being learned in the heat of the moment, here and now, at opening weekend of the first race at the biggest, baddest speedway on the planet. The two tire makers fly in harder compounds overnight from their various warehouses across the country. Thursday comes around, and there's still no progress. The tires aren't getting any better. They're still getting shredded to ribbons. Finally, Friday morning comes around, and the drivers have had it. Neither manufacturer can come up with a tire that can handle the stress of 2-ton stock car bodies traveling at 190 miles per hour in the 33-degree banks. And that day, Firestone backs out. No driver will get injured or die on their tires. They cancel their contracts and allow teams to run whatever tire they want. Goodyear, however, stands firm. If they can weather this storm, they will win the tire war and be the undisputed tire maker for NASCAR for years to come. The hidden PR from potential accidents is worth it to be the top dog in NASCAR's top series. As the day goes on, the Goodyear tires aren't faring any better than Firestone's. And soon the drivers start looking to the newly formed Professional Drivers Association to help them out. Formed just mere weeks before the events of this race, the Professional Drivers Association, or PDA for short, is a cooperative of drivers who want to cut a broadcasting pension program and healthcare benefits. Now that sounds a bit like a union.
The PDA, the first union.
They're not a union at all anyway. A normal union of professional athletes like the NFL Players Association or the NFLPA uses collective bargaining to fight for things like salary increases, healthcare benefits, pension programs, and organized strikes if need be. The PDA, on the other hand, vows to fight for salary increases, healthcare benefits, pension programs, and organized strikes if need be. Okay. It might be a union, but still the PDA never refers to itself as such due to two reasons. One, union culture is pretty much unheard of in the South at this time, and even if the drivers were on board with unionization, there's no guarantee that NASCAR fans would. And second, NASCAR is very harsh on drivers who talk openly in unionization. The PDA isn't even the first attempt at NASCAR unionization. In 1961, NASCAR's two most popular drivers, Curtis Turner and Tim Flock, worked with the Teamsters to get NASCAR's first union off the ground, the Federation of Professional Athletes. Big Bill France responds by vowing that any member of the FPA will not be allowed to race in NASCAR. Curtis Turner quickly loses support, but he holds out for as long as he thinks he can. Eventually, Big Bill France uses the nuclear option, as he said he would, and he bans Curtis Turner from the sport for life.
Yep. Stop showing the same idiots on TV. She looks horrible. Why is she even modeling that? She looks like crap. Dancing because she looks like crap. She shouldn't be modeling that stuff.
The Tide boosted test. Does it smell like work?
Stinks.
Tide is boosted. The other stuff can't match.
Do you think though?
Test counts.
I don't know. NASCAR having a show tonight.
Whiter, brighter, and fresher. It's
I don't know why they're showing the same people on TV. They didn't get rid of some of these people off TV. Like this person right here shouldn't even be on TV. I wonder if those other two are going. Crap of people stuff. Some stuff on TV, guys, is stupid. They need to remove some of this crap off TV.
This is not a punitive measure.
No, I'm not one of those. Just I'm just getting tired of seeing the same crap on TV like that.
In NASCAR, no matter who it is. Big Bill France bans his most
No.
popular driver at the height of his career. Just
Will not. But I will put some. I will post something online.
So why does NASCAR have this seek and destroy policy?
I'll let me go live, but I might do some pre-recorded.
Everything to do with how union works, leverage. Let's take a look at how a normal player strike would usually work in most sports sanctioning bodies. Typically, you have the sanctioning body, let's say the NFL in this case, aligned. They just sell them to any random yahoo off the street who throws enough money at you. The NFL has to approve the new owner. There are only so many teams allowed to compete in the NFL, and the NFL decides who gets to own what team and where that team is located. Even if you own that team, you can't move it to a different city without the NFL giving you the green light. The NFL and the team owners are, for all intents and purposes, basically one and the same. On the other side, you have the players who work for the teams basically as contractors rendering their services. If the players don't like their salary or benefits packages, they can collectively get
I don't know.
the union and threaten a strike to leverage the
The zoo will be opening before the popcorn machine opens up.
If that doesn't work, then the NFL and its owners can just hire a whole bunch of replacements to play the game if they don't want to budge. NASCAR, on the other hand, is completely different. In 1969, most drivers are owner drivers, which is exactly what it sounds like. Not only does the guy drive the car he owns, but he also owns the team as well. He decides which of his crew to hire and fire, nail down sponsorship deals, and what races he wants to run. It would be like if Tom Brady was not only the quarterback of the New England Patriots, but was also the team owner and the GM and got to pick who his coach would be. The board is totally lopsided. The players and the owners are now one and the same. And NASCAR teams can come and go as they please. Right now, today, if you own enough money, you can go start a NASCAR team and run races. So long as you're
I don't know when I'm gonna go to the casino.
post a qualifying time fast enough to get into the show, NASCAR basically just has to let you compete. And NASCAR can't hire replacements either. A NASCAR stock car is a proprietary car. It can't run anywhere else. It's purpose-built to run according to a NASCAR rules package only. You can't just go buy one off the street and have some yahoo drive it. However, in 1969, the PDA is allowed to coalesce because NASCAR has way more eyes on it. They have a much bigger fan base than they did earlier in the decade. And as a direct result, they have bigger stars too. And literally every single star driver is part of the PDA. David Pearson, the Allison brothers, Cale Yarborough, and basically every driver worth talking about, save for Bobby Isaac, who is a bit of a loner who has a record of flying his own colors. And who might the president be of the PDA? Well, none other than the king himself, Richard Petty. France can't bring himself to do anything about the PDA because they got way too many cards in their hand too quickly. They got the drop on him, and he can't do anything. So he does exactly that. Nothing. He never acknowledges that the PDA even.
No, I'm not going to the dentist.
Journalists
My
ask
mother
him about the
is.
association, and he feigns
So
ignorance, just like
next
it's some
week
fairy tale.
there might be a shortage of videos because of
Act
this.
like it doesn't exist. They eat away
So tell you now, next week, guys, Mara's going to be in pain for a few days. So next week, I mean, I don't know when, but Wednesday we might be doing normal videos for a while as a Wednesday. Okay, as of Tuesday, we're done doing videos maybe for a while. We'll see what happens. So I may be off. I may be off for a few days. Yeah, she has some teeth pulled, so we might not be on for a few days because I'll be taking care of her for a few days.
They were built at cost by the contractor on the agreement that the contractor could make a suite for himself.
Yeah,
Suite that he still
so
owns.
I have to stay. So I might have to be doing some stuff.
The race has to go
So,
on the race day
yeah.
because a postponement means not making his money back as soon as possible, which is why the completion date ran so close up to race day in the first place. He has to have his money back now. Big Bill France isn't budging, but neither are the drivers. Little cliques start getting formed all over the garage. They're trying to discuss amongst themselves what they think they should do. Do they stay and hope Goodyear can bring in good tires, or do they continue with the protests and say they're not going to run? Some drivers even talk openly about a potential walkout. Bill France tries to ease tensions by buying an old race car and taking it out for a few laps, just to show that there's nothing wrong with the track. Instead of easing everybody's tensions, he only makes things worse. Drivers point out that he was only puttering around at about 160 miles an hour, well short of what they were doing out there. Bill says, well, why don't you guys just race at that speed? But that's just a slap in the face to say something like that to a racer. They tried that out there. Somebody would push the envelope and somebody else would respond, and they'd all end up racing to 190 miles an hour anyway. At some point during these group powwows on Friday, Bill France is talking with Bobby Allison and Leroy Yarborough. When Big Bill France says to Bobby Allison, 15 Grand National Division at this point, and the winner of the last race just a week prior, quote, I think you're just afraid to race. At this point, according to Bobby Allison, to this day, he says that Leroy Yarborough stepped out from behind him, swung in the face, putting him on the ground. Leroy then turns around and says to his group, boys, pack up your stuff, we're leaving. That was the trigger the PDA needed. All at once, every single PDA driver packs up their stuff. And
I don't think so.
Superspeedway. They will not die for
I got plans though. I do got plans in July.
only 3 holdouts.
I hope works out perfectly. In July, I got plans in July. So that.
Points lead now that all of his competition is left. 2, a non-PDA driver named Jim Vandiver driving for a team owned by Ray Fox. And 3, a PDA driver turned scab who will anyway. His name is Richard Brickhouse. He races for the same team as Bobby Isaac, a factory-owned team financed by the Chrysler Corporation. And Chrysler Corp.
It's just too expensive to go. That's why I don't go to Fred anymore. It's just too damn expensive.
A car supposedly capable of speeds exceeding 200 miles an hour. But this week, that won't happen. The tires just won't allow it. Next year, it will dominate the schedule and win the championship. In 1971, NASCAR will ban its use entirely. But here in 1969, Chrysler just wants someone to drive their car for their flagship team. The car owner of the number 99 Dodge approaches Richard as soon as the walkout happens and tells him, if you don't drive this car on Sunday, somebody else will. Thus, that is his reason for turning scab and not participating in the walkout. Honestly, if you were in his shoes, you'd find it hard to say no to. You have a chance to win your first race and show off in this brand new Dodge Daytona.
Yeah, I do. Just the price just getting into the fair is expensive, and then the tickets are expensive just to do the event. So I just don't go to them anymore.
Had NASCAR been
I haven't gone to the fair in years. It's too expensive.
Somewhere where union culture existed, then there wouldn't have just been a walkout. There would have been a picket line and appeals to the fans to boycott the race. But this is Alabama in the 1960s, and organizing something like that is all but unheard of. The drivers in the PDA never try to picket. As a matter of fact, the topic is never even brought up. The drivers never even think to make a picket line. They just pack up and head home. NASCAR fans aren't too sure what to make of it. So Big Bill France makes sure to tell them what to think about it. He offers up an unbeatable deal. If you buy a ticket to the Talladega 500, then you can use that stub to get into the Daytona 500 next year.
It was cheap, yeah.
Jump on it. They come in droves to watch the shit show in Talladega County in September and get free tickets to Daytona in February to boot. But what about the race itself? You can't just put 3 cars on a 2.66 mile speedway for 500 miles, right? You're exactly right, Bill France says to himself. So he goes and rates the field from the 400-mile preliminary race on Saturday, a race from a completely different series. They race sports cars in that.
I just don't go to any of that stuff. It's just too expensive.
Chevelles, Torinos, and Roadrunners. They race Camaros, Mustangs, and even one AMC Javelin.
Ooh.
They barely do 160 with the wind at their backs, let alone pass tech inspection. So what does France do? He just changes the rules. That's it. He just does it like it's totally normal. Just declares all the cars legal, and that's that. So there it is. 3 actually competitive cars being driven by 2 young guys no one's ever heard of. And Bobby Isaac, NASCAR's biggest loner. And a field full of filling in the field, they're running the same tires they ran the day before with a single issue. And I don't mean the same sets, like they had several sets of tires that would change out during the race. No, they pitted for fuel in that division only. These guys ran an entire race for 400 miles on a single set of tires, and then
Nope, I don't like. I don't have. I haven't had Whoppers in years. I haven't had a Burger King
with no issue.
or McDonald's all year.
What did they make tires out of back then in 1969? Anyway, as the race starts, Bobby Isaac's riding easy because he's making a run at this championship and just wants to grab some easy points. He finishes fourth that day, which means one of those underpowered pony cars ran him down that day because he was just so laid back out there. Huh, shouts out to Ramo Stott then. Richard Brickhouse and Jim Vandiver are running 1-2 all day long, and according to the radio call, which someone bothered to record, they voiced some confusion in the running order and then announced that Jim Vandiver was the leader.
Jim Vandiver in the lead. Here's Richard Brickhouse getting around Jim Vandiver as he goes around. So that gives him Danny Day made up one of those laps. That should put him back in the same lap with the leader car.
That's right, we have a potential scoring error even though there are only 2 competitive cars out there on the track. Later when the checkered flag flies, NASCAR announces Richard Brickhouse as the winner. Vandiver and his car owner Ray Fox are livid. They contend to this day that they won that race that day, and that the scoring error wasn't an accident. I can't confirm this, but it really wouldn't surprise me if it turned out to be true, but the rumor persists that it was Chrysler Corp that sweet-talked Bill France into inventing the scoring error, because they wanted their new model of Dodge to win over Jim Vandiver, who was driving the older model. It probably would have looked bad if the brand new 1970 Dodge Charger Daytona had lost to the old 1969 Dodge Charger. Despite the protest, Richard Brickhouse is declared the winner and Jim Vandiver is placed in second. Richard Brickhouse would enjoy his win about as much as you would imagine, but all 3 of these drivers who did not participate in the walkout would wind up being cursed in some way. Bobby Isaac would go on to win the 1970 championship in the Wings Charger Daytona, but in 1977, he would park his car in the middle of a 200-lap event at Hickory Motor Speedway and collapse. He was resuscitated and taken to the hospital where it seemed as though he had made a full recovery, but later that night he would die of a heart attack caused by complications from heat exhaustion. Richard Brickhouse and Jim Vandiver would never go on to win another race or even be competitive. As a matter of fact, in the very next race, Richard was spun out by a PDA driver who had walked out of Talladega. And this picture depicting the incident was taken so clearly because a PDA driver had told the photographer where to stand in order to get the best shot. The PDA disbanded just a few weeks later. Their best shot at getting some leverage now long past. No talks of unionization ever came up after that race. There was no need to have them. It was their best shot and they had failed. Not to mention the owner-driver has gone the way of the dodo bird. The chances of the NASCAR union getting off the ground these days are slim to none. So that was all there was to it. The worst race in NASCAR history. A brand new car no one got to see the full potential of that day. Only 3 competitive drivers, 2 of the 3 of which nobody knew about. A field full of filler cars. A tire scandal that was resolved at the 11th hour. And of those 2 unknown drivers who were competitive, no one knows which one actually won the race to this.
So yeah, guys, we're just on here for a little bit of fun. I haven't had a Whopper in forever.
In my business, one of my employees blew up a laundromat. Yep, exploded it. The fire marshal said it was my fault and the police agreed. I had $250 in the world mill donated.
But yeah, I don't know what to really say. But yeah, Talladega is one of the most dangerous tracks. Clear. Space. Wait. Let's see.
Affordable quality from bi-directional handhelds to tablets. Gear wrench diagnostics. Find your
I haven't played basketball in years. I haven't played basketball in over 10 years. I haven't played basketball in years.
Fireball Roberts right behind him as they climb the bank into the first turn. Roaring down the backstretch, 68 cars follow the leader at 150 miles an hour.
I haven't played basketball in years. No, I don't have one.
End of lap one. The leaders at record speed, but the rest of the field is in trouble back in the fourth turn. The most fantastic pileup in auto racing history takes 37 cars out of the race. Some drivers feed themselves with the wrecked cars to find out, is anyone hurt?
I don't know yet.
There's a serious threat of fire. Fuel tanks were split by the impact. All drivers accounted for.
Yeah, well,
Only 8 of the 37 drivers suffered even minor cuts and bruises. And perhaps most amazing of all, no fire. Roll bars, crash helmets, seat belts, and lady luck save lives.
no, I'm not watching MASH. Watching something else.
The mechanics work frantically. The race is stopped. All cars that are still running are in position on the front stretch. Months of work and planning gone. Andrew Matthews, car number 49, ready to lead them out when the signal is given. He was in position 1 when the red flag halted the race. In half an hour, mechanics in the pit areas try to work wonders.
You know, I thought making MASH in 83. The last MASH hospital shut down in 2004.
Time runs out on some. When after a 40-minute delay, the track is clear and the race is restarted. Of the original field of 68 cars, only 44 are in running shape, and some of these are still in the pit.
Yep, that came out before the TV series existed. Yes, I own the movie. Yes, I own the movie MASH.
The 40-minute delay.
President Snow from the Her Games is in the movie MASH.
Rain clouds are darkening the sky. Unlike European road racing, these cars and drivers are not able to go full speed on a wet surface. For some, the race is just beginning. For some, it's all over.
Yeah, there's a MASH movie made in 72, I think. So, yeah.
Right there, we can keep both these battles in. This Scott, great job, guys. Look out, trouble! Kurt's into the wall. Morgan's in it as well. Kurt's getting the worst of it.
Yeah, well.
What's the 41 car right up?
The big one.
Two.
That's cheating.
And look at them go. Here they come, getting on target. You think these guys are sitting there thinking easy? Today, everybody's going to get a good finish. No way. They're going to come around with a white flag.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna cut you guys off. I'm done. I'm cutting off. I'm cutting you guys off. I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna cut it off. Maybe pass out. Bye.